Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Sports Scout. Okay, before we get into it, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos. We offer weekly analysis of European football as well as news from the world of fantasy sports. And without further ado, here are the reasons why the Premier League cannot be cancelled. Premier League finances are the envy of all other European football leagues. But with the Football Association seemingly forced to resume the season in spite of health concerns, perhaps it's time to take a closer look at the economy eluding English football. Here are some of the reasons why the Premier League finances are unlikely to allow for cancellation to the 2019-2020 campaign, similar to leagues such as the Dutch Eredivisie. How healthy are the Premier League clubs really in terms of finances? Well, on the surface, the Premier League is living out its golden age. The league is being broadcast across the world. Some of the planet's biggest stars, players and managers flock to England, and sponsorship deals of all types arrive in a never-ending flow. In fact, Premier League finances should be at an all-time high, judging not only by the team's revenues, but by their profit margins. According to a report by Deloitte, Premier League clubs collectively registered in 2018 a pre-tax profit of £0.4 billion. Revenues were also up for the fourth year in a row, and to the club's delight, wages had decreased by 16%. The trend seemed to continue up until early of 2020. So, just how rich are Premier League owners in 2020? Premier League owners are very rich and very influential people. And this goes without saying. Naturally, it is only a matter of controversy for those decrying the loss of football's identity. But, like it or not, these riches are directly responsible for the grand spectacle put on by the English first tier. When analyzing Premier League finances, club by club, looking at the wealth of their owners is a good indicator of economic health. Manchester City's Sheikh Mansour is technically the richest man owning a Premier League club. Sheikh Mansour's net worth is $20 billion. All other men and women on that list of Premier League owners and their riches are tremendously wealthy as well, and so are their clubs. For example, Roman Abramovich is worth £9.6 billion, while Stan Kroenke of Arsenal is worth £6.8 billion. Why then are the owners set on completing the 2019-2020 campaign at all costs? The news that the Premier League will likely restart soon is exciting from a fan's perspective, but it's also worrying. Why can't the Premier League be cancelled? The Dutch Eredivisie has already announced that it will scrap the 2020 season altogether. Other leagues are soon to follow suit. However, in a meeting on March 1st, Premier League stakeholders have voiced their desire to find a way to complete the season. Even Prime Minister Boris Johnson is said to have chimed in, suggesting that matches be played behind closed doors. Why can't the Premier League be cancelled? The most simple reason has to do with the money involved. Yes, English clubs are some of the richest in the world, but the main cause for their good fortunes has to do with the money hovering around the Premier League, Europe's most profitable sports league. It is estimated that in 2020, the league garnered a profit of $5.3 billion. There's a matter of highly lucrative sponsorship deals. For example, in 2019, newly promoted clubs like Aston Villa, Norwich, Sheffield United all signed the most profitable sponsorship agreements in the club's history. And there's also the matter of brand recognition and of growing expenses. Brand recognition is vital in any business. And right now there are few places more visible in the world than the Premier League. That's regardless of the industry of a brand that's on the shirts of sleeves of clubs playing in the most popular sports league in Europe. For example, Manchester United commands a £64 million fee per year from Chevrolet. Their Mancunian rival City claim £45 billion from Etihad. Liverpool earns £40 million from Standard Chartered, and that is only a small fraction of what a club stands to receive throughout a season. There are also deals made with large sports gear manufacturers. Liverpool's victory in the Champions League brought them to the attention of Nike. The world-famous brand will pay them £80 million a year in exchange for designing their kits. And since the league is growing, it seems only natural that clubs will look to expand during this upward phase. Tottenham Hotspur unveiled its £1 billion stadium investment last summer. Everton is building a new stadium as well. Official plans announced that this will become open to the public in 2023 at a cost of about $620 million. What about player endorsements? Naturally, football players also make for great brand ambassadors. As long as they are playing well and staying in the public eye, important companies are willing to pay them large sums of money in exchange for their public approval. Mohamed Salah earns $9 million a year from endorsements alone. And it's not only one company that Salah opts to work with. The Egyptian star is involved with Adidas, Electronic Arts, Uber, DHL, or Pepsi. Paul Pogba earns $31 million over a 10-year period from his exclusive endorsement deal with Adidas. England captain Harry Kane is sponsored by sports brand competitors Nike, and he was recently featured in their high-profile Nothing Beats a Londoner campaign. More people are watching football than ever before. Amazon will pay £90 million on a 3-year deal through which they will be able to broadcast 20 matches every season. All of these things add to the individual riches of the players involved, but also to the overall business scheme of the companies involved. These have clear effects on the way the Premier League is run. The Premier League season is most likely to be completed in 2020. The decision to end the competition prematurely leaves a lot of things unsettled. The Premier League, for example, would have to find a way to decide whether Liverpool are to receive their much-deserved title or whether teams like Norwich are to relegate. But beyond that, the cancellation would have immediate and long-term financial effects on the Premier League and its clubs. Simply put, cynical as it risks sounding, there is far too much money at stake for the competition to be quietly put to bed for the remainder of the campaign. Premier League finances, while they may be great at the moment, are reliant on a large injection of cash flow if they are to stay this way. And as the actions of some of the club's owners have shown, few get rich by simply choosing to give money away. This is why the Premier League will not be cancelled.